bringing happiness to the people. Gammadda, for the people, by the people.
Good afternoon and welcome to your news right here on TV1. For the News First team, I'm Shehan Ranatunga. Let's first take a look at your headlines.
More than 80 houses gutted in Kanjimavatha fire. 300 plus displaces. President meets Japanese Emperor and Prime Minister. No welfare slashes, says Acting Finance Minister. Army Suranga arrested. Human-elephant conflict claims 3 more lives. Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman named as Prime Minister.
Now your top story. President Ranil Wickremesinghe, who is on a visit to Japan, met with the Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida in Tokyo. Now, President Ranil Wickremesinghe also met with Japan's Emperor Naruhito at the Imperial Palace in Tokyo. The Presidential Media Division said that the President will then leave for the Philippines. Now, President Ranil Wickremesinghe is chairing the meeting of the Asian Development Bank governors in the Philippines. And the President left the island on the 26th to attend the funeral of the former Prime Minister of Japan, Shinzo Abe. There, the President met the Japanese Foreign Minister and the Singaporean Prime Minister and held discussions. The President is scheduled to hold talks with the Philippine President, Bongbong Marcos, as well as Asian Development Bank President, Satsugu Asakawa. The President's Media Division stated that the President is scheduled to return to the island on the 30th. Now, in other news, around 80 houses were gutted in the fire in Kanjimavatha in Colombo. The Colombo District Secretary Pradeep Yasaratne said that relief will be provided to around 300 people who lost their homes due to the fire. Our News First Sandro Satyajit joins us now with the latest.
I'm here in the Kanjimavatha area in Grand Pass, where we saw during 7 and 7:30 p.m. last night a fire rose, and occurring after that was a very disastrous incident. Now the fire has left many, over 220 plus people, residents of these shanties, displaced as of now, and they are taking refuge in nearby communities, but most of them over here have still yet to leave their homes because they are afraid of robbers, and most of them have also been robbed. Now, coming to the cause of the fire is yet unknown. However, if you look over here, you see this is where the fire is suspected to have started, and from over there it has spread across into the area where the residents were at. However, we have yet to receive more news on as to how this fire began. Despite that, we will keep on reporting and bringing you the best very quickly as we update you as we go on. This is Sandro Satyajit bringing you the news on the ground for News First.
Sri Lanka police said that the fire that broke out at around 7:30 p.m. on Tuesday was contained by over 50 firefighters who battled the blaze for several hours. The Sri Lanka Fire Brigade, Sri Lanka Police, as well as residents of the area managed to douse the fire. Hundreds of 7 Gamunu Watch troops under command to the 142nd Brigade of the 14th Division of the Security Force HQ West immediately joined the firefighters of the Fire Brigade who have been engaged in control work. The Colombo District Secretary Pradeep Yasaratne was also present at the scene of the incident to examine the damage. The scene of crime officers from Sri Lanka Police were seen conducting investigations at the site of the fire. President Ranil Wickremesinghe has informed the Colombo District Secretary Pradeep Yasaratne through Presidential Secretary Saman Ekanaika to provide immediate relief to those who have been affected by the fire. The cause of the fire has not yet been identified.
Now on to some other stories. Sri Lanka has decided to send a delegation for the annual summit of the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank.
The 2022 annual meetings of the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank Group will take place in person from Monday the 10th of October through Sunday 16th of October in the IMF and World Bank Group headquarters in Washington DC. Sri Lanka's delegation will be led by Acting Finance Minister Shehan Semasinghe. He said the Governor of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, the Finance Secretary and several others will accompany him. The Acting Finance Minister said that the 2022 annual meetings of the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank Group will be of paramount importance for Sri Lanka to restructure its debt and also obtain financial assistance from the IMF.
Acting Finance Minister Shehan Semasinghe says that claims being made that the government is cutting welfare programs are completely false.
සමහර දුර්මත තියෙනවා මේ සුබසාධන වැඩ කටයුතු කප්පාදුවකට රජය සූදානම් වෙනවා.
There is a misconception that the government is cutting down on welfare. We have not conducted any discussions. Those who need assistance should apply. Those who are currently receiving assistance, those who are expecting assistance, and those who have suffered injustice can apply.
ලබන අයත් ලබා ගැනීමට බලාපොරොත්තුවෙන් සිටින අයත් යම් අසාධාරණයකට ලක් වුණා කියලා විශ්වාස කරන අයටත් ඒ සියලු දෙනාටම මේ දිනවල මේ කටයුත්ත වෙනුවෙන් ආයුධම් පත්‍රයක් ඉදිරිපත් කරන්න පුළුවන්. නැවත ඒ පිළිබඳව සොයලා බලලා සුබ සාධන ආධාරයක් ලැබිය යුතු පිරිස් රැකබලා ගන්න අවශ්‍ය වැඩසටහන ක්‍රියාත්මක වෙනවා. දැනට ක්‍රියාත්මක වෙන වැඩසටහන් වලට අමතරව.
In the meantime, the minister also expressed his views regarding obtaining loans from the International Monetary Fund.
වෙනවා මේ වෙනකොට සියලු ද්විපාර්ශ්වික නායකරුවන් විශේෂයෙන්ම විදේශීය රටවල් ඔවුන්ට
I'm happy that all the creditor countries have promised to help us in the economic recovery. We are in the preliminary stages of the IMF discussions and we hope to get approval from the board. The economy can be recovered.
අපි තාම ඉන්නේ මූලික අවස්ථාවන් වල අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ ඔවුන්ගේ කළමනාකාරීත්ව මණ්ඩලයේ අනුමැතිය ලබා ගැනීමට අවශ්‍ය කටයුතු සිදු කරන්න. මම හිතනවා නැවත ආර්ථිකය ගොඩනගා ගන්න අවශ්‍ය පසුබිම නිර්මාණය වෙනවා.
In the meantime, Samagi Janabalawegaya parliamentarian Chaminda Vijayasiri says a commission scam is behind the power crisis. He made these remarks at a media briefing held earlier today.
යුගදනවි බලාගාරයේ අක්‍රිය වෙන තත්ත්වයකට පත් වෙන
Why are they allowing the Yugudanavi power plant to come to a standstill? It is Kanchana Wijayasekara's pursuit in increasing his commission. It is the people that have to pay for their sins. It is reported that floating power plants are in the sea around Colombo port. It is an utter shame that rulers are continuing to realize the ulterior motives while the lives of the people are in dire straits.
මුහුදු තීරයේ දැන් මේ සැරිසරන බව රටේ ජනතාවගේ දෛනික ජීවිතයේ බොහොම හරි අමාරුවෙන් ජනතාව ගැට ගහ ගන්න හදන එකත් කාලකන්ණි පාලකයෝ තමන්ගේ බලලෝභී කෑදලකමට කොමිස් කුට්ටිය ගවා ගැනීම වෙනුවෙන් මේ වගේ හැසිරීම නින්දාසහගතව.
Now in other news, the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna has decided to strip the SLPP local government member who was arrested over the Tamuttegama bank heist of his party membership. The SLPP General Secretary Attorney Sagara Karyavasam told reporters on Wednesday that the matter was internally probed on Tuesday, adding that necessary action will be taken against the local government member if it is proven by an investigation that he is responsible for the crime. In other news, a program of obtaining public signatures to force the government to reduce the electricity bill is underway in Kurunegala today. The program, organized by the National Bhikshu Peramuna, took place today near the Kurunegala clock tower. This petition demands relief in electricity bills in religious places, reduction in fuel prices and relief for living conditions. In other news, 3 people died due to attacks by wild elephants in Anuradhapura district in a single day. Last night, a woman and a man died after being attacked by wild elephants at 2 places in Kabitigul. The 3rd person died in Morogoda, that's the Morogoda area in Anuradhapura. A 58-year-old man was attacked by a wild elephant while bathing in the Kuleba lake. The residents admitted him to the Hurulweva Regional Hospital, but he was ruled dead upon admission. Now, a herd of wild elephants that stormed Mahingane Sorobora village last night had destroyed a house. The wild elephants had eaten the rice stored in the houses. Our reporter said that 4 houses in the village were destroyed by wild elephants. In other news, the farmers of Rajangana say that they refuse the organic fertilizers provided by the government for the Maha season. The Tamuttegama Sirimapura D10 Farmers Organization received the application form yesterday for providing organic and chemical fertilizers. The farmers told the Rajangana Agriculture Research Officers that they do not need the organic fertilizers provided by the government for the Maha season. In other news, reports of a paddy storage facility that has gone into ruins was reported from Kandy, Pelavatta.
The villagers say that this paddy storage complex consisting of 6 buildings has been completely abandoned. Representatives of the Minipe Farmers Organization point out that in the history of the Ampara district, rice was also stored in this building complex.
Still in news here at home. Organized crime gang member Buddhika Prasad alias Ami Suranga and another criminal gang member were arrested in Mulleriyava. The police said that they found a firearm made in a foreign country in the possession of the suspects. Now, Ami Suranga was previously arrested and released for shooting at a platform of the former President Maithripala Sirisena's political campaign rally held at Vallampitiya, that's the Vallampitiya Stadium, in 2014. Now, possession of a firearm in Paliyagoda in the year 2018 and for forging a police officer's identity card in 2020. Still in news here at home, the leader of the National People's Power, Andukumar Disanayake, says that a new commission must be formed consisting of industry professionals to revive the tourism industry. Disanayake made these remarks during a special discussion where the National People's Power presented its proposals to revive the Sri Lankan tourism sector.
We must revive Sri Lanka. The tourism industry is in dire straits. In the aftermath of the severe economic crisis Sri Lanka is facing, we need a strong backup fund at this time. The tourism industry is a collective of many industries. We need a central hub to manage all the institutions in the industry. We strongly believe a tourism commission has to be established that represents those who are employed in the tourism industry.
A discussion was held yesterday between the Government Medical Officers Association and the Freedom People's Congress.
In this discussion, attention was drawn to some of the major problems faced by the medical field in this country.
Why must we stay in the country? There needs to be an incentive program. A doctor who has completed his training abroad does not want to go to Vavuniya. In the past, when you were the Minister of Education, the children of doctors were sent to national schools through which doctors stayed back for the sake of their children. Such work should be done. Health professionals are leaving the country at a rapid rate. Through this, the health sector is collapsing. Also, the Freedom People's Congress is making a national policy on health these days. For that, we made a request for the opinions and support of the Government Medical Officers Association. They very happily came forward. The government is neglecting the collapse of the health sector. No action is taken for that. It is clear that there are food banks in our country's schools. Why is that? Because there's a need. Therefore, if there's a problem, we should understand that there's a problem. Food security, shortage of medicine, prices of medicine are all burning issues in our country.
Farmers were not able to get a successful harvest this year due to the fertilizer crisis. Now, the farmers are suffering because they cannot sell the harvested crops at the proper price.
This year, there was a severe shortage of agricultural products such as fertilizers, insecticides and herbicides to properly grow crops. Even if the farmers tried to grow their crops, they did not get the expected harvest. Farmers of Mathura Ratmale are another group who faced this situation.
Now in some news overseas. Saudi Arabia's King Salman bin Abdulaziz issued a royal decree reshuffling the kingdom's Council of Ministers. Now, according to the royal decree, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman will become the kingdom's Prime Minister. Prince Khaled bin Salman will become the Defence Minister amidst the cabinet reshuffle. The decree saw the appointment of Prince Turki bin Mohammed bin Farhad bin Abdul Aziz as the Minister of State and Prince Abdul Aziz bin Turki bin Faisal as Minister of Sports. The decree also saw the appointment of Yosef Al-Benyan as the Minister of Education. Still in news overseas, oil prices rose over 2% on Tuesday from 9-month lows a day earlier, supported by supply curbs in the US Gulf of Mexico ahead of Hurricane Ian and an easing in the US dollar from its strongest levels in 2 decades.
Prices also drew support from analyst expectations of possible supply cuts from the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries and Allies, or OPEC+, which is to meet to set policy on the 5th of October 2022. Brent crude settled at $86.27 a barrel, up $2.21 a barrel or 2.6%, having fallen as low as $83.65 in the previous session, the lowest since January. US offshore oil producers said they're keeping an eye on Hurricane Ian's track as the powerful storm shut in about 11% of oil production in the US Gulf of Mexico as it barreled towards Florida.
And that's it from the news desk for now. For these stories and much more, do log into www.newsfirst.lk. For the News First team, I'm Shehan Ratullah.
ඇත්ත කෙටියෙන් දත්ත වැඩියෙන් සයිබර් අවකාශයේ කලබන වුවත් සලකුණ News First YouTube channel අදම subscribe කරන්න.